Upgrading from a beginner trail bike to an enduro bike is super exciting, but there's a right reason and a wrong reason to do it. These two common mistakes that I'm about to share with you can slow down your progress as a trail rider, which can result in less confidence and actually riding slower on a faster bike if you're riding single track trails. Number one is thinking that more power is going to help you. Maybe this is to do power wheelies to get over logs or obstacles. Logs or obstacles. But what this actually might do for you is make it more likely to whiskey throttle or lose control because it's so much power. A beginner trail bike has super smooth and predictable power, where an enduro bike or a race bike has very snappy, very aggressive power, which is fun because you can power wheelie on demand. But if you're riding single track trails where you're only going 5, 10, 15 miles an hour, they can be a bit of a handful and can get you into trouble real quickly with a whiskey throttle if you just give it a little bit too much gas. Also, having more power can get you exhausted a lot quicker because that jerky power, you're constantly pushing and pulling on the handlebars just to try and hang on to the bike. Your hands and wrists and back or knees can get fatigued within like 15 minutes or less if you aren't used to that power and if you aren't using proper riding technique, especially if you're just reacting to what the bike does. And how do you know if this is going to be a problem? Well, if you can't already make use of the power that your slow beginner trail bike is, then just having more power isn't going to make you a better rider or level up your skills, because even though you might be able to wheelie a little bit easier, if you don't know how to efficiently use the clutch and the throttle and your body position and riding technique to get your front wheel over the log and stay balanced and keep your momentum up without getting sideways or tipping over, then just adding more power is only going to make it harder to stay in control. So if you think a slow trail bike is holding you back, think about this. Would a pro rider be able to get over that obstacle on a TTR 125 play bike? Mistake number two is relying on the suspension of an enduro bike to soak up the bumps. Going from a beginner to an enduro bike, you're going to have more suspension travel and it's going to be stiffer, which can really help if you're riding at speeds higher than like 15 miles an hour, especially on whooped out or rough terrain. But if you're not using the full travel of the suspension, then it's just a waste. And if you're already struggling with confidence when touching the ground because your bike is too tall, then going to a taller enduro bike is just going to kill your confidence even more, especially at low speeds or when you come to a stop. And if you are frustrated with your dirt bike because the suspension is too soft, it feels like a pogo stick when riding over bumps, then you should check out this video here on how to ride a dirt bike with soft suspension on the trails without getting bucked off.